City, we run the town.
Right. I'm crying. Hey, come in my Discord, man. It was good. Yeah. uh, what? What was his excuse? Thank you for the subscription. What? That's what he did, huh? Hop on my. I'm I'm on stream right now. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Oh man. You talking about right now? Mm-hmm. You rage quit? You rage quit. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you for the subscription. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. This is too funny. People serious about they Call of Duty, man. They serious about they Call of Duty. He just a little too serious for me. Yeah, I'm live on stream though, man. You should hop in my Discord. I'm about to watch this. You seen the you know who 1090 Jake is?
Yeah.
You seen the video on it? They got like a video of him on the news, and thank you for the bits. They got 1090 Jake like a clip of him on the news, and he like, yeah, every compound I was on had drugs, and you know, so now they saying like he snitched, and oh man, is this the new content I've or what?
What, snitches?
Yeah, giving people paperwork and snitching and all that. It's the new that's the new content.
Whack 100, man.
Whack 100. Because here's my thing. Make sure I hit that thumbs up, the likes on YouTube, y'all. Appreciate it. Here's my thing is like, I don't understand, like, I like you, you know, I fuck with DJ Academics, man, and I like all the little YouTubers, Hassan Campbell. I don't agree with everything they say. You feel me? But like, you know, sometimes when they making sense, I'ma acknowledge when they making sense. You feel me? But like some of them dudes is qualified to like maybe speak on this stuff. I don't understand what a civilian has a.
Hassan Campbell is a weirdo.
He's a weirdo. Oh.
Man, that man was letting African Bambaataa fuck him in the butt.
Wait, hold on.
At 17 years old.
Nah. He said that's a lie, bro. He said he was 12, bro.
Man, that man said he was 17.
Nah, the paperwork say he was 12, bro.
That man said he was in love with that man. Did you hear him say that, Trey?
Yeah, but you know what? He made a good point the other day since we talking about that. He was 12 years old, and he said, why does his own people make fun of him for being molested? Like, that's true, right? Or no?
Yeah, that's true. There's people making fun of him being molested, but
He was 12, bro. He wasn't 17, bro. That's the misinformation.
Ghetto tracks, most niggas that grew up in the ghetto, bro, 12 years old is like being 15. I don't know. I'm just saying, when I was 12 years old, a nigga would have touched my butt. Nigga, I know something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you a faggot, nigga? What the fuck?
You can't say that. You can't say, hold on, man. Let me
Touch my butt, blood. What the fuck?
you so look. 1090 Jake. Fellatio. Listen, hold on. We got. I'm talking about. We talking about 1090 Jake. I'm not talking. Look, I'm not finna. Look, I'm not finna talk about him. You know, he's been through trauma, bro. I'm not finna do that. That's not right. It's not right. He been through trauma, and I wouldn't. You know, I can't really speak on it. He said he was 12. African Bambaata's a big dude, man. I mean, I don't know. He wasn't the only victim of it. African Bambaataa had a lot of victims, bro.
Yeah, he did.
And we got somebody from our hood that's locked up right now that was doing that to real gang members. So I really, you know, I'm going to leave it be. Look, you got quiet.
Hey, man, that man was.
It was,
Was
hey,
robbing and sexual molesting.
that's what I'm saying, man.
He come in and tie you up on a robbery and molest you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we had dudes from the hood that's walking around in the hood. It's dudes from where we grew up at right now, bro. That's walking around that they been attacked or whatever, been victims of abuse. Let's just say that. But I didn't call you to talk about that. I was trying to get you to. I know you ain't hip to the whole Discord thing and all that. I was trying to get you on the Discord. So
Yeah, I've been looking in there, but I don't know what. I'll be lost.
now you was in the right one the other day. You got to come in there and jump in the lobby.
Okay.
And then if you can, jump on my YouTube so you can watch what I'm watching.
Okay, then jump on your YouTube.
Yeah, try to be in both of them at the same time so we could talk about what we watching and listening.
All right.
Yeah, cause you gotta see this video. I want to know your opinion on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in there right now.
All right. The views of the homie are not necessarily my view. For the record, I know I'm laughing because I'm laughing to keep from crying. What happened to Hassan Campbell is not right. I do not endorse or applaud or laugh at anything that has to do with any type of abuse of any kind, especially of a minor. So I'm a fan of Hassan Campbell. I encourage y'all to go to his channel and check him out. He be speaking some real stuff. Like I said earlier, anybody that agree with everything somebody says, I'm not really with that. Because I don't think everybody is, even me. If y'all come in here and I'm not on point and talking about certain things, but it's like every time I get on YouTube now, it's somebody saying something about somebody snitching. And I'm like, is this the new content? Y'all let me know. Thank you, Royalty. I see you in the comments, my moderator. I see you. Membership. Okay. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up for me. I only got 2 thumbs up, man. Y'all tripping. But every time I look up now, all these I was watching Hassan Campbell a few days ago and he had issues with China Mac is one. I don't necessarily agree with the beef he got with China Mac, but it ain't my position to really even have a opinion or a judgment on it. What I do know is China Mac did time in prison. I don't know if he's a part of a street organization. You can't throw these words out here. Let me tell y'all something, man. I don't like talking about gang stuff on my channel. Okay? I have a real issue with gang politics and things like that being talked about on my channel. However, like I said, since it's such an influx of snitching content, I'm just trying to get the pulse of the people, really. Like 1090 Jake came to fame from posting videos about his prison experience, especially being a Caucasian blood. All right, so he's a white cat. That's a blood. I mean, more power to him. I guess it's equal opportunity gang banging out here. So, if they accept him, it is what it is. I don't see how you can be a quote unquote internet crime reporter as well as like you still pushing this thing like you's a hardcore street dude. DJ Academics will tell you 100 times he's a civilian. He's entitled to tell. He's entitled to do all of that. He's entitled to snitch, tell, or any of them things. He's entitled to it because he's a civilian. And I was just talking to somebody on the phone a little while ago, and I'm like, what do civilians really like have an opinion on snitching for? Snitching doesn't affect civilians. Am I right or wrong, man? Snitching affects civilians in any type of way. So I don't understand as to why civilians have an opinion, because these opinions are putting people in harm's way. You know what I mean? Like, hood politics is for the hood. You know what I mean? Like, it's for the hood. It's for y'all when y'all have y'all. You know, I don't need to hear about, yeah, we had a meeting at the park and such was there. I'm going to show y'all, I'm going to tell y'all about something I don't know if they caught on to on the internet. And I don't want to play it necessarily on my channel. But I watched a video of 1090 Jake. And in that video, 1090 Jake said, such and such called us into a cell. It was me and Whoopty Blam and Blipty Blop. And such told us we got to get a shank or a knife or whatever the word was. And we got to go. He told us we got to put a hit out, basically put a hit out on somebody, right? Like, we got to get this dude. To me, and then again, but since everybody got an opinion, to me, that's telling. The dude that he was speaking on from another episode, I know that from him, from 1090 Jake, and I believe his information is credible, that his partner got like 50 years. Or I think maybe he got 3 50-year sentences and they had to run concurrent, so maybe he got 50 years. Or maybe he got 150 years. But if the state ever wanted to tie him to being the leader of a prison gang and this, that, and the third, they can use that little video clip of you saying that he told all of y'all to meet up and he the one that whoop, 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 whoop. Like, that's, to me, that's telling. Already, that's telling right there. So I watched a video. I'm gonna get this dude a shout out. I don't know where I looked for the video actually on the main page that it came from, and I couldn't find it. But I think it's on China Mac Talk. Shout out to China Mac. He getting a lot of flack because people feel like he supports the black community too much. I don't understand that. They say he's a plant. He's an informant. I don't know too many plants or informants that done did 10 years in the penitentiary. I don't know personally. Maybe he got out and like, I don't know. I don't see it as that. Hassan Campbell is entitled to his opinion. What is going on here? No idea. All right, we back. But DJ Academics, he can afford for $10,000 for a security team for him to go out on the weekends. Everybody can't afford that. Everybody ain't able to do that. So make sure, if y'all saying stuff on this internet, especially about something to do with somebody's freedom, y'all better know that that's serious. You know what I mean? I'm trying to wait on my partner to get up in here, man, so we could chop it up. He done already dropped the F-bomb. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate y'all. He done drop, but let me know. It's not supposed to, but the rules have changed. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying though. It's like, I originally thought snitching had to do with like, we did a crime together and I turned on you for a better sentence. Yeah, it is. It's tripping. But now I say it's fine. Like, make up your mind. My bad, y'all. We having technical difficulties beyond my control. I done lost my train of thought that fast. No, but for real though, you got people that's not qualified to speak on these situations that putting people in danger. Boston Richie, they tried to make him seem like he told on a case where he was the only one that ended up doing time. The people that he supposedly told on didn't even have to do no time. He's the only one that did time behind that charge. I don't understand that. What's up, Chris? Appreciate you. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for me, my boy. Yeah, but he was the only one that ended up doing time. But now I saw at least 50 different outlets or channels or whatever you want to call them. Speaking on it. Did he snitch? Or as academics would say, did he stay solid, y'all? Did he stay solid? Or did he snitch, y'all? Well, you asking a whole bunch of civilians. Hey, Brittany. How you doing? Make sure you hit that thumbs up for me, please. And thank you so much.
Hello!
You know what I mean? My bad. I had to hit the horn one time. We turned up. Ooh, thank you for the bits. I appreciate y'all on Twitch. Thank all of y'all. I see the likes on YouTube. But let's talk about it, though. Hold on, I done rolled me up something for this. If you talking, you snitching. But if you are a civilian, you were just talking. I agree, Chris. But I said this earlier. I'm a civilian. I'm not in the streets. Let's just keep it a buck. I'm from the streets. I'm not in the streets, okay? I grew up in the streets. So, like, if something was happening to me and I had communication with the police, although I'm a civilian that grew up in the streets, they gonna call me a snitch too. I'm doing well. They gonna call me a snitch. I promise you right now, if something happened on my street and I'm recording it on my thing and you see me talking to the police and I post it to my Instagram or Facebook or whatever, they gonna say, man, Dopest was on there snitching. It's gotten to the point where everybody is making us try to live by prison rules. You know what I mean? Or everybody's got to live by street rules. Yeah. I just think it's a dangerous game that people are playing. It's a dangerous game. Okay, 1090 Jake, you did your 2 to 3 years. You was solid in there. This, that, and the third. I'm not hating on your channel, getting a acclaim and fame or notoriety it has. But, like, it's something wrong with this picture. Because when you have so-called street dudes being, like, crime reporters, it look like it's a line being crossed. You know what I mean? Because once you start reporting on YouTube and the internet, you're no longer a street dude. Street dudes is in the streets. They not behind a computer. They don't. If you look at most of the dudes that's like really in the streets, they don't have time to be on the computer. When they do get on here on one of these shows and get to talking, they be like, man, I'm out, man. I don't know. I don't do all this internet stuff and woo. That's how they be. I don't do all this internet. Yeah. Now, you don't have to be a gang member to be a snitch. No, if you a criminal, see, because if you a criminal, you know it's a likelihood at some point you may end up behind bars. You may end up locked up, right? Like, it just may happen eventually that you may be locked up. But I'm not going to wait for my mans, because I know sometimes him and technology, they don't work good together. So I want to play this. This is Hassan Campbell. Y'all know sometimes I went in on Hassan Campbell. Not that he cares. He got a lot of viewers or whatnot. But in a lot of instances, I agree with some of the stuff that he says. In a lot of instances. He has said a long time ago that 1090 Jake, or as they like to call him on Hassan's channel, 1290 Jake, is a police, that he's a police plant. He said it many a times. But we're going to get to this video right here and see what it do.
What is you talking about? You didn't hear Lord Akim? Say less.
Hold on, we got. Is this it? Oh, here it go.
To get drugs in a Florida prison.
Every single compound I hit, there was all types of drugs on there, whether it's prescription pills, Molly, some spots there was cocaine and meth, but nothing more common than K2.
Jacob Cherry.
What? Take the what and leave the what? What is you talking about? You didn't hear Lord Akim? The more that I know, the more I say less.
So, let me look that video up for y'all real quick. I'm going to look that video up for y'all. The one 1090 exposed. All right.
How easy is it to get drugs in a Florida prison? How easy is it to get drugs in a Florida prison?
Every single compound I hit, there was all types of drugs on there, whether it's prescription pills, Molly, some spots there was cocaine and meth, but nothing more common than K2.
Jacob Cherry, a former inmate, posted the videos to YouTube.
1, 2, 3, 4 flips.
He says Florida inmates.
Look. It didn't help him that he's the one that posted the videos to YouTube. Now, the phrase that they playing on for quote unquote snitching is the phrase where he says, they had it on every compound I was on. I really do not know why my internet is acting up like this, though, for real. But he said they had it on every compound I was on. Now, civilians may not see how that's telling, but if you stating that this news feed got back, of course, to the mayor, to the warden. So if you a street dude and you locked up and you got somebody, bringing it in or whatever the case may be, however you getting your stuff in there, and you got a dude that's putting it on blast, that forces the mayor to do something, which forces the warden to do something. So now you got extra raids on people's dorms, on people's cells, and things of that nature. He may have not specifically got somebody knocked, you know what I'm saying? But indirectly, he probably got somebody knocked. Just because of the sheer fact. Or he made certain individuals, when that video came out, shut down business. Like, they probably shut it down. Like, man, this dude got us hot. Maybe we need to chill for a while. I don't know. I'm a civilian, you know what I mean? But I guess every civilian can now have an opinion on street matters. And my opinion is, don't put people information up. You know, let the street people handle that. You know what I mean? Now, some street cats want to get out here because, you know, they in the same gang with a cat and they want to put a dude information out amongst they. That's different. But you know, like DJ Academics, for example, him reporting on the Young Thug trial or all the court proceedings or whatever attached to YSL, right? That's, to me, different. Because you're not putting something out there that's not already out there. And yeah, you could say that this paperwork is out there already and this, that, and the third. But that's something that you got to go look for. You know what I'm saying? The YSL stuff, that's on the news. All this other stuff is stuff that you intentionally going to look for. So you can get views. Like the fact that your channel is based upon all your prison stories and all this kind of jazz, and not so much what you doing with your life once you got out. Like you look at China Mac. China Mac did way longer than 1090 Jake in prison, right? But you go to China Mac's page. I was just on there today, and it was something to do with the Chinese community and the Muslim community coming together on something. You know what I'm saying? Or he's got things where he's showing he's trying to pay back a debt to society. You know what I mean? I came from this and I became this. I don't see that. Maybe 1090 Jake is doing Thanksgiving turkey drives in his hood. I don't know. I really don't. But based on what I see on his channel, it's to tear down people. It's to report on people. It's to you capitalizing on people's tragedy. Because 90% of the stuff on this page has to do with 187s and slicings and people getting shanked in the joint and this, that, and the third. It make for good listening, I guess. It make for good listening. But when you doing all that talking on your channel about, yeah, Bimba said come over here and I can't remember all the dudes' names, but he done named a 1,000 and such as I found out such and such was over there and my name was ringing and when such got over there, they said he was gonna do this and like, to me it's all telling. Hey, Miss Lotus, make sure you hit that thumbs up for me. Hello. No, real talk though. Real talk. Y'all are watching. Real talk though. At what point it's all becoming a confused and a blur. You got people on here talking about they don't know what snitching is now. Snitching been around since the beginning of prisons, okay? It's people been willing to offer information up since they first probably laid a brick to the first prison. But to me, that's all criminal stuff. If you're not a criminal, why are you speaking on it? And the fact that 1090 Jake goes so hard, like he goes hard. He goes really hard about like who he think is a snitch. So like I said, you got people like Hassan Campbell. You got people like Hassan Campbell that been waiting to get on his top. They been waiting to get on his dome.
It's currently behind bars, recorded the videos.
Oh, hold on, it's the wrong one.
Stupid. Is Hassan Campbell racist? Hell no. Brad B. Here, my dude. Oh. Thank you for sponsoring that. Thank you for sponsoring that.
Hey, but Lotus, that's what I'm saying, though. And you said in the first 48 seconds they tell, right? But that don't affect you. So you might, like, if somebody say, what's the dude that's in the, Faye, somebody big in the social media thing as far as snitching, right? They got a video on him. We all know he told. You ain't got to be, if he didn't tell, let's just say, and he's admitted this, I seen him admit it in an interview, I think it was on Academics, where he said he don't think, he didn't handle it the right way. He shouldn't have said nothing. Shouldn't have said nothing about nothing, right? So with that being said, like, to put this man, like, the way that they dragged him on the internet, and to be fair, DJ Academics, he was clowning, and he kind of was leading Faye in to say certain things, like leading him on to say things. But he's a civilian, and he's making money off the streets. They monetizing your tragedy. Right? Do I agree with snitching? No, absolutely not. But by definition, if I go do something with my mans and we both get knocked, or let's just say I get knocked, I gotta hold that. I gotta go sit it down for however long it is. I gotta sit it down because that's what I signed up for. I believe that wholeheartedly. We was watching the first 48, remember? And we was watching these two real square dudes. And they was driving in a car, and they had another dude in the back. They had two dudes in the back seat. Only one of the dudes in the car was a gangster. And it was a dude they really didn't know too well. Well, while they driving, the dude whips out the blammer, and he bloop-de-blam the other dude in the back seat. Both the dudes in the front seat told. Like you said, Lotus, within the first 48 seconds. One dude said, I'll be back with my lawyer, and I'm going to tell everything. He made a whole snitching appointment. He's like, I'll be back. He came back, he told his story. Now, 90% of people watching that going to be like, oh, he snitched. But what you finna catch an accessory charge because some sick individual in the back seat just want to whip out and blippity blam the person that's sitting next to him? I'm not going to jail for that. I might, as soon as I got out of there, call those boys like, man, you better go down there and take your charge. They already on to you. I'm not going down for that. You better go take your charge. And I don't know you like that. You better take your charge. Now, if he don't want to take the charge and you end up getting caught up in that, and you know how many people sitting up in the penitentiary right now that was civilians, but they didn't want to snitch, so they took a plea. Real talk. Because you got dudes that ain't not going to take their charge. Oh, I don't know what happened. Hey, well, we about to lock up your mans and them. And you know your mans and them didn't do nothing. So if your mans is not a gangster, he wasn't involved in no criminal act with you, and you did something, he's supposed to do time for you? I don't understand the definition of snitching. The internet done recreated any and everything that snitching is. They done recreated all of it. Shout out to the people that's watching me on Twitch. Make sure if y'all coming in, y'all hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. We growing. This is just real talk from real people. You know what I mean? It's one love or no love. You know, we out here. We out here. You know what I mean? But let me...
War. That's what your super chat's supposed to look like. Yeah. Come on, man. King AK-47 is another one. Seti Nash. Them dudes jumped me on the internet for the Great White Paw. King AK-47, here. How you gonna explain this, my nigga? You said you the voice of the streets? Well, we want to hear what you got to say about your mans. You said he was more black than me, right?
Drugs, weapons, and cell phones inside Florida prisons.
Videos secretly recorded by inmates themselves expose the ongoing contraband crisis behind bars. Brian Enton shows us in tonight's 7 Investigates.
This is a crime scene right here.
These videos are from inside Florida prisons.
And old school is great.
Inmates passed out on the floor.
This is what it look like on mother K2.
They're on camera smoking.
Hold it. 10, 9.
And bragging about having drugs behind bars. How easy is it to get drugs in a Florida prison?
Every single compound I hit, there was all types of drugs on there, whether it's prescription pills, Molly, some spots it was cocaine and meth, but nothing more common than K2.
Jacob Cherry, a former inmate, posted the videos to YouTube.
All right, so that's Jacob Cherry, a.k.a. 1090 Jake. Jake. I just saw you on DJ Academics channel the other night, bruh. And you went so hard, Joe. 1090 Jake, you was just on DJ Academics going so hard on Feifei. And Boston Richie's brother over Boston Richie's interrogation video. Like, you went so hard, my dude. And then when Boston Richie brother brought up this video, he said, dude, you was on the news. Now, this is what I'm finna do, y'all. I'm gonna take you over to China Mac. Now, mind you, it's kind of weird. I'm playing Hassan Campbell and China Mac back to back because they really don't get along. But I was watching this one channel. What's my man's name? I think it's Keeping It a Benji. I think that's the name of the channel. And, you know, he was commenting on this situation. China Mac 1090 Jake. Let's see what pop up. Let's see, y'all. Oh, I popped up. All right, hold on. Oh, here we go, right here.
Waited this long to speak on it because I need to get the details. I don't want to say anything that can get anyone in trouble. I don't want to put too much information out.
Stage, I'm gonna just let y'all talk.
Yo, AD, what up?
What's the word, bro?
Yo, what you don't?
All right, so y'all, this is Zip with the Drip. All right, that's on the phone. You got AD over here on the right. He's from the No Jumper podcast. I don't know if he's still on there, but that's where we know him from. He's a street dude. Come from out here in Cali. You know what I mean? Reputable dude. So you got China Mac. This man's done years in prison, right? He's got years under his belt. And then you got I think his name is ODM in the back. He from out here in California. Another dude that's been in prison. The only one that hasn't been to prison per se is AD right there. He haven't been to prison, so he even says during this that he's not qualified to even really talk about like prison stuff. I respect that. But let's go ahead and
Think 1090 Jake, but you don't think he did bad?
In my opinion, no.
in my opinion, unless somebody went down for something off of what he said, then it ain't, to me, that ain't ratting. What's ratting is you sit there, you give up some information, somebody get in trouble, somebody, even if somebody lost their job, whatever the fucking situation is, I look at that shit like that.
Alright, so now, if he would have made that video, right? If the news cameras would have came up to that jail,
So now you see, AD is saying, look, I'm not even qualified to speak on prison politics and stuff that goes on in prison. Basically, AD is speaking from a civilian standpoint. He's not speaking from no street stuff. You know what I'm saying? He's speaking as a civilian.
and pulled him on a visit, right? And spoke to him. Later on that night, when he would have been playing dominoes in the day room or spades or whatever he would have been playing, when that would have came on the news, that he's saying that all of the drugs and all that the CEOs is bringing it in and blah, blah, blah. What would have happened to him in that day room? Ask your brother. Your brother did a lot of time in jail like me. I just did 18.
See, I ain't do a lot of jail time.
I've been in prison.
So I'm going to keep it real. I ain't even qualified to even talk about the jail shit like that.
I've been in prison. I've been in jail, all right.
If it's bad in there, that means it's bad. He did bad. They would have beat the shit out of him in that day room if he would have did that.
Why? Why would they have done that? Because he don't know. Why would they have done that?
You just made it extremely hot. What you think?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Now, that's a violation. He violated. There's no ways around that. Whatever it was that had to pertain to how your peoples is still locked up gotta eat. You know what I mean?
Dopest, would I go to YouTube? Dopest TV?
Yeah. Oh, you in here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got Ivan a building, my boy conniving.
It hurts me. Okay, now where y'all at right now? YouTube?
What? What you mean? Yeah, we on my channel. Where it say live. 1090 Jake something. Yeah, you see me live? If you click on my channel, I should be live. You know who that dude AD is, Ive?
I want you to help me wrap this around my leg.
Let me see what y'all thinking, man.
Stand up, babe.
They always put limited or some crazy stuff. I don't understand that.
But listen. All right, can I say them quick though?
He see more cell phones in the jail than that's in his house right now.
But I'm saying, what jail he said do it though? What jail he said that they doing it in?
ODM said, what jail did he say they was doing it in?
The majority of the compounds that he been on, what jails did Jacob Cherry go to? They said who they was talking to. We talking to Jacob Cherry. So what jails did he go to? Every compound that he ever hit, he said. That's what he said.
That's what he said.
That's what a lot of niggas say. That's what everybody say. If you look at anybody that talk about prison stories, that's what they all say. They all say they talk about jail. They all say the same thing with jail.
But so you got AD and them, they saying that why is everybody snapping on 1090 Jake when dudes is sitting in the pen videotaping and sending videos home of all the stuff they doing inside the joint anyway. To me, it's a fair argument. I feel like everybody telling. I mean, look, you got dudes, hood dudes on the internet talking about hood politics, meetings at the park, gang meetings, you know, telling the stories of how they got put on and all. I always thought a lot of this stuff was supposed to be sacred. Like, that's what I always thought. But you see, most of it play out right on the internet. It play out right on the internet. You got half of Jacksonville locked up, and most of the evidence that's been used against them is their own rap videos. What's the name? Slugger and them, and forget the other cat. But most of the dudes locked up in Jacksonville, most of the evidence against them is. I watched a video the other day of Queso's dad, Abdul Robinson Sr. And the fact that it got to a point where this man had to incriminate his own son. I mean, I watched that video. That was wild. Oh, let me bring that up. Now that was wild. Yeah, he incriminating his own son.
Mr. Robinson again. Joel referred to him as crazy or K crazy. Yeah. Whitaker's phone number, area code, obviously familiar with the person.
Yes, sir.
Okay. As it relates to your case. Did you also get phone calls from Leroy Whitaker? If anything had been left behind.
They muted a lot of the audio. Hold on.
Sure. Now, when you watched that video of the murder of Charles McCormick, did you recognize the shooter?
Yes, sir.
Who was the shooter in that video?
Hakeem Rose.
What? Y'all heard that, right? You watched the video of the homicide. Did you recognize anybody in the video? It's gotten bad, y'all. It's gotten really bad.
Shooter.
Yes, sir.
Who was the murderer?
Sir.
Could you see how the shooter ran?
Yes, sir.
How the shooter moved?
Yes, sir.
Did you also see the firearm that was used?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, when you watched that video of the murder of Charles McCormick, did you recognize the shooter?
Yes, sir.
Who was the shooter in that video?
Hakeem Rose.
Your son, Hakeem Robinson.
Yes, sir.
All right. And obviously he's your son, so you're very familiar with him.
I give up. Stop. Oh, my bad. I thought this puppy was over here too. Lotus, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It gotten to that point where.
Hold on, Dopus. I'm getting the kids right quick.
Hold on. No worries, bro. Like, it's gotten to that point. But this is the new content. I promise you, this is like the new content. You got dudes like Trap, what's his name? Trap Laura Ross. You got 16 shot 'em visuals. 1090 Jake. You got DJ Academics. Excuse me. All doing this now. Now, I ain't gonna lie, it was real interesting when DJ Academics was on there breaking down the takeoff, the unfortunate pass on the takeoff, and he was breaking down the footage and getting people named that was in there, and like that was kind of interesting how the power of the internet really works, right? He had 40,000 people in his live, and every time he said, "Who is this right here, y'all?" they came back with the person Instagram, they latest tweets, all that. It was pretty impressive. He's a civilian. Jake, 1090 Jake, portrays himself as both a hood reporter, criminal activities reporter, I don't know what else to call it, and a street dude at the same. You can't have it both ways. You just can't have it both ways. How? A snitch cannot affect a civilian. It has no effect on a civilian. A civilian is not committing crimes. So what can a snitch do to a civilian? Why does it matter to a civilian? Man, I swear to y'all, this is a real story. When I first moved to this house right here where I'm at now in Orange County about 13, almost 14 years ago, I'm still one of the only black dudes that live around here. It just so happened it was another black dude that lived across the canal in one of the only apartment buildings in this whole little area, right? My neighbors, who have since moved, I remember the first day they came over, introduced themselves. Hey, we're your neighbors. I don't know if they brought us some cookies. I can't remember. But I do remember the wife had a piece of paper in her hand. She said, we just want to let y'all know. Now, mind you, we ain't even been here 24 hours. We just want to let y'all know that there's a registered Wooty Wop offender that lives right over there. Had his picture and everything. And it just happened to be another black dude. Well, I went and looked it up. It's a whole bunch of predators that live around here. But again, like I said, it ain't no black people live over here. So guess what most of the predators are? They're not black. But they happen to bring us the one that pertained to the only other black dude that lived over here. You know what I'm saying? They civilians, though. They civilians. Now, what are you to do if you think all the, gang members and convicts, as well as most of society, detest and consider predators, especially of young people and children, the worst things on the planet? But that ain't what these dudes is out in the streets protecting people from. Yeah, they get them in the joint. Yeah, they may do something to them in a penitentiary. You feel what I'm saying? But they not doing. They easily, you can find them. You have to register for a reason, so people know where you at, right? But you don't never hear about that. I just think that's odd. It's like everybody pick and choose. Everybody pick and choose what you stand up for. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't gonna lie. When I first, you heard my homie, he was talking earlier about Hassan Campbell and whatnot. And you got people that feel like that. Like, they reading the thing, oh, he was 17 and this, that, and the third. But listening to Hassan say it, and like he said, it's a shame that my own people think it was funny and they disrespect me over being molested. I looked at it a whole different way when he said that. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. It's like, oh, because some people want to say I was 17 when I was really only 12. Man, it's paid informants from your hood right now. Whatever hood you from, it's people on the payroll right now. It's part of the game. Snitching always been part of the game. It's always been part of the game. Whether it was the mafia, whether it was the Irish mob, where it don't matter who it was. So when it comes to these gangs, especially that have no structure, they don't have no leaders to where like you scared to tell on one specific dude. Nah. They really don't have no structure. The OGs can't. Now, I don't know about this YSL case. I'm not even really going to speak on it. That seemed like it's different. It is directed at one dude at the top of the food chain because he's the one that makes the money. That's how I take it and look at it. I don't know what that's about. According to them, they're a rap label. Until it's proven otherwise, I'm going to just say on here, they a rap label. Because I see people get on here on the internet. Oh, they a gang and this, that. That's not it. Let it play out. Let it play out. Everybody on this internet is quick to be the first one to say somebody is a snitch. I promise you. They can't wait. I watched DJ Academics pay on it while he was live, pay to get access to somebody's paperwork. I watched him. People think this is okay. People think that this is okay. I don't think it is in my book. Because you putting people at harm that's locked up. You putting people in harm that have nothing to do with with anything. Because you know it's families attached to these people. You know what I mean? I find it ironic that 1090 Jake is the determiner of what's snitching and what's not. Because Boston Richie's brother said, man, you was on the news telling. Let's go back to this other video real quick, y'all.
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4 flips. He said.
Oh, no, not this one. Hold on. This one.
How they got they fuck with the CEO, and because sometimes because they black, I hear it sometimes because they niggas and they told me their story, it sound cool.
See, look, and somebody, I seen somebody else say, like, you see what YNW Melly did, right? He put the motherfucking, the officer that was, you know what I'm saying, treating him wrong, he put his name out there. You consider that ratting?
All right, so now look, what 1090 Jake do, right? He not telling on the police that's putting handcuffs on you and then kicking your face in. He not telling about the police that's spitting that tobacco juice in your food.
So this is what I'm saying. This is how wild snitching has become. The AD even has to ask this question. So if your civil rights is being violated in prison and you speak up against the officer that's violating your rights, they even like regular dudes, civilians, and people that's not in the prison. Again, AD said he's not qualified to talk on prisons because he never been a prison, right? He just said that earlier. But he has an opinion formulated in his head already that if you tell on a police officer that's abusing you in prison, that's even included snitching. Now, again, say you got a date to go home. Now, if you got life with no parole and you know in your heart of hearts that you ain't getting out, maybe you have to take it upon yourself to handle your candle. You know what I'm saying? And take care of business. But if you got a date, what is you supposed to do? Are you supposed to do something? Okay, no, 50. No, you can't. Yeah. He love being on camera. 50. Yeah, you throwing me off. You supposed to get life by doing something to this officer? Huh? I'm trying to figure it out. Where is the line drawn? So you mean, I love watching like the Innocence program and them getting people freed that's been down for decades unjustly. You know what I mean? I love watching that show. And 9 times out of 10, it was some janky police or some janky police work that got them locked up in the first place. So is they snitches too? Y'all done got the line so blurred. Like it. So now people walking around with, again, like I said, if I was to go live right now and something happened on my street, a car crash or whatever, and I go tell the police, oh yeah, I seen the car, it was blue, it should have a dent in the back, I'm a snitch? I promise you they would say I was. Any person that didn't like me in this cyber world would look for a reason to jump in the comments and say, oh, Dopest is snitching. I seen Dopest on the thing talking to the police. That's the world we live in. Then it goes from, okay, you just a civilian living a civilian life, to now you got to defend your name. Now you don't know if you walking down the street, they done put all your information on Instagram and YouTube. You walking down the street, you don't know if the people looking at you funny. So now you paranoid. Like, y'all civilians, and then it's people like DJ Academics that's dragging the street life into the civilian life, like for real, because they got an opinion on it. Then you got you got 1,000 people in his chat that ain't never did nothing street. Most of them live in the suburbs. A lot of them may even be underage. And they got a comment. I be watching it every night. I love watching DJ Academics. I love watching Hassan Campbell. But you see it in the comments. Rat, 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 rat. Just like 1090 Jake. Do I think he's a snitch? I can't formulate an opinion. I just think it's weird that you could play both sides. You either a reporter or you a gangster. There ain't no gangster reporters. Like what? Where they do that at? Ain't no gangster reporter. Either you a hood reporter and report what's in the news. But don't start trying to smash people for snitching and telling unless you want to get your stuff analyzed. You got people that say, oh, 1090 Jake didn't get nobody locked up with his comments. You don't know that. You don't know that. So you mean on every one of them yards that he was on, that he touched, like it wasn't no extra raids? They didn't send in the CERT team or the special response team or whatever the fuck. They didn't send none of that in there based on this news segment, a whole news segment on it. You didn't think that the mayor's assistant said, hey, Mr. Mayor, we're going to have to do something. Mr. Mayor, we're going to have to do something. It's out there that we're not doing anything. And he want to get reelected. So guess who he's calling on the next phone call? Hey, Warden. Yeah, this the mayor here. We got to do, we're going to have to make some arrests and so it look like we doing something. They ain't just let that go. So when people say, oh, he ain't get nobody knocked for that news clip, you don't know that. He may have made people's lives in there a lot more difficult financially. Do I agree with drugs in prison? It's not my place. y'all know me. I wish drugs was just a non-factor, period. But they hear people make money off of them and people use them. That's the world of jail. You know what I'm saying? You know, people's making money to send back home to their family, and people is supporting they feeding their habit. That's a world of jail. That's not the world of a civilian. All right? So, again, if Jake 90, 1090 still, 1090 Jake, whatever, if he's still living by the code, he should know. Say, yeah, own up. I fucked up. I shouldn't even did that interview. Word up. I forget, it was one rapper they was talking about, and it's not, I could say Crip Mac too, but Crip Mac violated, and they had to DP him, right? He took his DP. I think it was another one. I want to say it was, Brick Baby or one of them dudes. But they violated. They took their DP. Jake is 100% in violation. 100%. 100%. He can say, oh, well, they already had the information. Well, you don't need to contribute to it, nigga. It look worse when a former inmate is contributing to it. It looks worse when a former inmate is contributing to it. In my eyes. You know what I mean? It looks worse. Oh, you gonna validate this video that you put on YouTube? Now you gonna validate it with a brief interview and say, yeah, it was on every compound I was on. But you got mad at Boston Richie brother when he said it. You felt some type of way. That ain't snitching. That ain't telling. I didn't give up no names. So now here we are again with making the rules up as we go along. So you could describe a situation or talk about a situation, but as long as you didn't give names, you know what I mean? Because you done gave up enough names on your YouTube channel talking about all your prison time and every stabbing and every shakedown. You know how many times I heard you say my crew and you gave up names, Goomba or all these different places, Google and all these different niggas. I don't know if I'm saying the right names, but Bimba, I know that's one of them. You always speaking on him, and I think he's out. I think I see on your page one of your boys is out, but you steady speaking on like literally like crimes that happen in the penitentiary. But that's not telling. I swear I was going to do this. I was going to get this clip from off of his channel where he said such and such told us to go meet up in a cell. So we was in a cell. It was me, Blippity Blop, Whoopty Blam, and Zippity Doo. And Whoopty Blam told us we got to get our shanks and we got to hit this one dude. Like, you already admitting y'all part of a gang. Now, you're intimating to us that he's the leader and then he just put a hit out on somebody. Like, what? What? He been telling. Y'all going by this video that's out, he been telling. The man has literally mentioned 1,000 names from the Florida prison system. He has spoke on 1,000 people's names from the prison system. You know what DJ Academics told him the other day? Stop, 50. You know what DJ Academics told him the other day? We need you. said, we need what you do. Said, we need what you do. That's a civilian, though. Y'all got to peep game. That's a civilian telling a street dude that's reporting on street dudes, we need your kind of work. You got to understand. We need your voice out here. Actually, we don't. Actually, we don't, to keep it real. I know you could say, like a lot of what your channel does is to deter people from prison. Nah, to me, it looked like you just want to look like you was a super extra thugged out dude. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you an example. Trey D from the Dog Pound, he done did way more time than you. Every one of his bids was longer than what you done did. Never hear that nigga talking about, you would never hear Trey D talk about none of that. He wouldn't tell you about one meeting in a cell with nobody. Oh, it was woo-to-woo-to-woo. And he been on Vlad TV 100 times. You couldn't get him to tell on no. I ain't heard him mention a dude in no incriminating way ever. Now, that's keeping it gangster. That's keeping it street. You might not be actively in the streets gang banging, but you signed up and you got to live by a code. So, 1090 Jake, leave the snitching content alone. You know, leave that to Trap Lord, Ross, and them. Because he is really a civilian that would never even jaywalk, and he's definitely telling. Leave that kind of work up to Charleston White and them, like DJ Academics, people that have told you right off the bat that they're telling. They're telling right away. Something happens, they're telling. Like, that's what they supposed to do. But you, and the reason I'm even doing this little segment, I don't care about views, nobody, whatever. I'm small time to y'all, right? But I have to speak on that. You blurring the lines between the streets and being a reporter. You a good reporter, bro. But stop trying to act so hard. You did your time. Okay, great. Stop trying to act so hard. Like I said, you went in. Oh, let me pull this up. Every time Boston Richie Brothers says something, and you was trying to stretch it. You was trying to stretch it and go to extra length with it. Oh, let me pull this up. I'm going to pull this up. Every time he called you out on that video, you couldn't acknowledge your L. You gotta take that L. Cause to me, it ain't, and I don't consider you a snitch or none of that. Cause it's not my place. But I know that you a flip-flop. You know what I'm saying? You wanna be it's like you wanna be a doctor and a motherfucker that puts people in the hospital at the same time. Real talk. But nah, I appreciate any and every one of y'all that showed up, man. Like I said, we just on here, man, getting some real conversation in about some real things. Y'all know I don't even like talking gang stuff, prison politics, because real talk, I don't feel like, like AD said in this video, I don't feel like I'm qualified. I'm not qualified. I've never been to prison. Somebody asked me about the county jail. Yeah, I'll tell you about the LA county jail. I've been in there. That's different. You know what I mean? But I'm not finna get on here and incriminate anybody, or I'm not gonna act like, oh, I got a right to speak on anything. I grew up in the streets. I did a lot of stuff in the streets, like as a youngin'. Like, I was in the streets. Am I finna sit on here and act like I'm that dude? Nah. I'm a well-respected person from my community. I don't have to be a gangbanger for people to respect me as a man. I never had to be that. Swear to God, my boy SD just called me before I went live today. And they got their own podcast, but it's cats like that came up behind me. He said, man, I just called to tell you I love you, bro. He said, I just called to tell you I love you. He says, brothers like you that paved the way, that opened doors. You know what I mean? That mean more to me than somebody saying, oh, I was a tough dude, or I would have busted everybody when, yeah, he was out there busting. Nah, that means more to me than that other shit, than that street shit that they talking about. You know what I mean? Not even that. Hold on, let me see if we can get this.
Before they put you through your flat. He didn't tell on those police. I don't think that's snitching. Them niggas is violating niggas in jail when they ain't got no right to be violating niggas in jail. The police niggas that's bringing niggas cell phones for $1,200 like he said and all of that, them niggas is breaking the law. They helping out the guys. You telling on them niggas.
Oh. You never said name.
You telling on niggas that's breaking. If you telling on a nigga that's breaking the law, what you doing?
Telling is telling.
Yeah,
telling is telling.
But like I said,
that's a fact, man. I mean, for those of y'all, bro, some of the CEOs that be working at these prison systems, man, they're more gangster than the actual.
Look, especially the way they got things set up in prison now. That's the main way that everybody know that contraband gets in. I got a partner of mine, and he was a gang member. He was a blood. This same partner of mine ended up being a correction officer. I'm not gonna say his name, even though he wouldn't mind. He's a minister now. But you know, the prison he worked at was infested with people from our hometown, fellow bloods. And he got caught supplying them with everything from narcotics to phones and so forth. So he got caught, lost his job, and him himself went to prison. You know what's so crazy? When he was working at that facility, I used to always trip out how all my homeboys, and this was before now when, you know, cell phones are so prevalent, right? Seemed like everybody got one, right? But my homeboys has been doing life in 30 years and 20-some years. All of a sudden, my phone ringing all the time. And I'm talking to these dudes every day. I'm thinking, like, how's all these dudes got cell phones? You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't as, like when my oldest son went to prison, you know, I might look up and my son be on Facebook Live. You know what I'm saying? Dancing in his cell with the, you know, with his cellie. You know, he was always on the phone. I used to always be on his head like, man, you on the phone too much. I don't want you to get, you know, no time at it. But he was always on the phone. But let's say like 12, 13 years ago, it wasn't that common for people to have cell phones like that. But I remember I had a whole bunch of them. If my boy Ive is still in the Discord, I remember his cousin or his people's Big Ive used to call him all the time. Yeah, I remember he got put in a hole over that when the whole shakedown went down. I ain't talked to a lot of my homies after that. They got caught up in that whole little shakedown. But everybody know like how it's getting in primarily. CEOs don't make a lot of money. And like they said, if they can go buy you a $30 phone off the street and bring it into you for $1,200, like that's really enticing. They feel like, oh, we not hurt nobody. oh, it's not drugs, it's not that, but a lot of things we do know happen on them phones. A lot of things. I mean, it could be whatever. It ain't for me to say, but a lot of things happen through those cell phones. A lot of, business and things going on. So everything we have on the streets, they have in jail. Man, I watched a dude. I was watching this video, and it's the dude accused. A lot of people allegedly believe committed the homicide on Mo 3. And he was on a phone call, man. He said, man, I'm good up in here. Shit, I'm living it up. I'm in here with the homies. Said, we got everything in here. Only thing we ain't got is women. And a lot of times, they got that too. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the nurses or COs or something like that. I don't think, I know my son couldn't wait to get out of prison when he was locked up. But a lot of these dudes really just don't. I think half of them don't be tripping. They don't care about getting locked up. That's another conversation, but I don't really think they care getting locked up. I really don't think it mattered to a lot of younger youths. Because they going to be in there turning up. Yeah, you might have to squabble and this, that, and the other, but, it's strength in numbers. So when you from a gang and you got your gangs backing and, they not going to let too much happen to you. You feel me? As long as you, ain't scared to squabble up or you can get knocked out. As long as you squabble up and you don't run or whatever, they not going to let nothing dramatic happen to you. So, you're going to be doing your time with the homies. Like on Love After Lockup, she quit her job to be with the dude. Right. She was a whole nurse. Messed up her whole resume. Spent all them years working in the prisons and fell for one dude. And she lost her job for nothing. He was a junkie. He was a junkie outside the joint. He was a junkie inside the joint. You didn't meet a dude that was in the choir. You met a convict. You didn't meet a dude that was in the choir. You met a convict, girl. Stop playing. You met a convict. But hold on, let me get back to this.
Personally, I ain't did a lot of jail time like that to even talk about that and even be qualified. So I don't even want to get a wrong opinion. I'm only giving my opinion of what I see and what I'm thinking about.
I understand when niggas say everybody know that niggas got stuff in jail. Everybody know.
Yeah, ODM know a little more. He over here, he talking.
Yeah, some of these prison guards.
Take the wheel, take the wheel.
My bad, go here. My bad. Look, what's the deal, bro? What's the deal with it? What's the deal? What's the deal? This whole shit, all right, boom. In the pen, we all know this. In the pen, I just seen a gang of niggas saying in jail, they tell their jail stories. Like even me, I had a bitch in jail. I tell my story. I would never say, oh, her name, oh, this and that. I had a bitch in there. I had dumb shit coming in. But a lot of niggas see that as, oh yeah, you telling your story, you fly, you had a bitch in jail, you cracking. Bro, he never said one thing. He never said, hey, they got this going on. He was talking about a drug that was in jail that was killing people. That's what he was talking about. A drug that was killing people. He was talking about K2.
See, I think ODM, he kind of he not getting it either. Now, if ODM was on here looking up people paperwork and running around deciding who's a snitch and ain't a snitch, then I feel like it's fair game for people to go back and based on what he's saying, he done put stuff on his social media and put stuff out where he telling about his prison stories, but he ain't naming no names. But yet you still giving up information on how people are doing illegal activities. Is this rocket science or am I slow or something? You're giving up information on how people are committing illegal activities. Why you just can't be quiet? Because you heard what he said. He wanted to look fly. People were telling him, oh, yeah, you was popping in jail and this, that, and the other. It's all because somebody else to think about you. I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
No, listen, I'm finna show you this. Listen, you gotta look, bro. Look at this. You gotta look at the whole video. You can't look at the clip. You just heard the little clip of it. The whole video, they talking about it. The whole thing is about K2 killing people in jail, and people.
I was in jail for 18 years when the K2 hit. I was there.
Right.
I went to jail in 02. I came home in 2020. Check it out. Niggas do not want you to get the K2 out the jail. Niggas want more of that in the jail. So that nigga had videos though with balloons with doodle on it, homie.
But I'm saying, who sent him the videos though? I'm saying, people sent him the videos.
On the news, it was videos with niggas with the doodle on it, bro. With the balloons with the doodle on it. Son, that's not the police bringing that in, homie. That nigga went on a visit floor and violated himself to get those in there. Homie. You think he wants you to tell him, stop bringing these in here? Them niggas is showing them videos. Look what we doing. We got it lit here. Y'all think we fucked up in here? No, we got it lit.
Right.
It's talking about, the K2 pandemic, the CO.
I don't know. I look. I disagree with the drip right there, because they telling too. They telling on themselves. Okay. Now, self-snitching may not be a crime, but most of these dudes is telling on themselves. I don't see nobody checking people for. Yeah, we might laugh about it when we see the clips on the internet. We might be like, oh, wow. But I don't see nobody telling people to stop snitching on themselves on the internet. They stay doing it. How you shoot a whole video with a song where you telling on yourselves and none of your homies from your hood said, man, you can't put that out, man. You incriminating all of us. They don't care. They don't care about prison. You see Queso, his daddy cared about prison. That's why he did this. Where is that? Hold on. That's why he did this.
You're familiar with this watched what I'll refer to as a dash cam video, a video that actually recorded the murder of Charles McCormick. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you've watched that?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you watched that video, could you see what the shooter was wearing?
Yes, sir.
Could you see how the shooter ran?
Yes, sir.
How the shooter moved?
Yes, sir.
Did you also see the firearm that was used?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, when you watched that video of the murder of Charles McCormick, did you recognize the shooter?
Yes, sir.
Who was the shooter in that video?
Hakeem Rose.
His daddy didn't want to do that time, man. His daddy didn't want to do that time. Now they calling his daddy a snitch, right? We don't know if Queso told his daddy, man, tell him whatever they need to know. I don't want you locked up in here, Pops. I done got you in some bullshit. We don't know that. I don't know that. Maybe somebody else know that for a fact. I don't know that. But again, if you a stand-up dude, according to these codes, why would you want your dad? So if y'all know the situation, allegedly, Queso and his man's, I forget his name, Scott or some shit like that. And his man allegedly did something. And in a high-speed chase with the police, they jumped out the car and ran, and allegedly ran into a lady's house, forced the lady to give them a change of clothes, and so forth and so on, right? Okay, well, it's a body behind all of that. And since they had to hop out the whip, they allegedly called Queso's pops. And his pops had to pick him up. So now he's tied into the crime. You see where this is going? Now his daddy is tied into the crime. Because you done helped them get away from a situation. I promise a God, I can't call my daddy for much of shit. But if I had to call my mama, if I just had to, something went down, I had to call my mama, and my mama had to pick me up, I'm telling my mama to tell on me. If they pick me up and accuse me with that crime, I'm going to tell my mom. If they talking about putting my mama in prison, lady, you better, you ain't got to tell nothing. I'm going to take this charge. Or tell if you got to. I might try to beat it at trial anyway. I don't know. But I'm not finna send my mama to prison. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate because if you know the story of Queso, you know, now his pops is lost almost all his kids behind this shit. Behind this street shit. I think 1 or 2 of them done passed away from gang violence. I know one for sure. And I believe maybe the other ones is all entangled in this nonsense. If I'm, you know, thinking correctly. But is that telling? It's still telling? His daddy should have took the charge? You want your daddy to spend the rest of his life in prison? I don't know. I don't know what kind of dad he was. You know, maybe he had his kids on that shit. You know what I mean? In that same interrogation, he talked about how he was at video shoots and his son had the same weapon in the video shoot that was seen in that dash cam. So you was at video shoots with your child. I know if I was at a video shoot and my son, who is, you know, affiliated and a member of something and been to prison, but if I was at a video shoot and I saw a weapon, I'm going to be like, as a father, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, nah, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Maybe I ain't had that kind of relationship. I don't know what kind of dude he is. But by definition of what everybody is calling snitching, now his dad is like, does he go on witness protection? Can he still go back to the same neighborhood? Because the people that you just told on are from that neighborhood. Your own dad. This street shit is raw, ain't it? And I can see why a lot of y'all like to watch this stuff. Y'all done pumped up 1090 Jake to be something on YouTube. And I don't doubt he was that dude when he was locked up and he held it down and all that stuff. I don't doubt none of that. What I got a problem with is either you a reporter or you a gangster. You can't be a gangster reporter. Like, you might could be a gangster gamer. Like, you might could still be gangster and be on the game. Like, playing video games. You might still be gangster and could play basketball. You might could be gangster and still be a great woodworker. Like, a great ironsmith or something. I don't know what it's called. I'm making up shit now. A great computer engineer. But one thing that you can't be, for sure, you can't be gangster and be a reporter. You can't. You got to get up there and just like denounce that life, right? Denounce that life. Stop acting hard in these videos. You know what I'm saying? With all the yelling and the tough guy talk and all that. You need to stop all that. You're a reporter now, Jake. 1090. 1090 Jake. That sounds like something you say on a, I'm going to just keep it real. That sounds like something you say on a police radio. 1090 Jake. And with that being said, one love, y'all. One love or no love. 1090 Jake, over and out.